what the deal is out there in YouTube land. It's your boys, we are back. I am Big Ruck.
Brother Los.
Brother Ron.
Brother Jam.
And now your boy Bishop.
And we are the Daily Smoke. We are here for the Wednesday edition.
Let me throw
Roll
the
up, pull up, whatever you gonna do, just stay up with us.
There's some effects here.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yes,
Please.
always, and buy some merchandise. You know, a lot of nice stuff out there. You know, hey,
Yes,
got my
man.
red one on today. Look how good that looks in
Yeah,
red.
man.
You know, so check out some of our stuff. You know, it's
We got any hoodies in red like that?
I think you can get the
That'd be
hoodies in
dope.
any color: purple,
Really?
red, green. There's
Oh,
certain
I'll
colors
try
you can
that.
get. I know right now, just so everybody knows, it's sold out in extra large, and it will be coming more. But there's a lot of other sizes, and I mean, everybody wants everybody ain't extra
Everybody
large.
want extra
Goddamn.
large,
It's
yeah.
like, I guess they want a bigger one just in case, you know. Get the double X that you want big.
Yeah.
But you know, man, when you buy hoodies, you can't buy like fitted hoodies.
No,
you know
because
what I'm
you're gonna wear
saying?
something. You're gonna wear something
Listen in
underneath.
English.
So you're gonna wear
Right.
something underneath, so you're just kind of so you can take that bitch off in case you get somewhere where it's hot. So that way you don't want to take it off. You just sitting there on the nigga in the room with no shirt on. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's hot.
Right.
You know. So, but yeah, that's But yeah, they'll be coming more and more. You know, they're just stocking up, and you know how things go today. So you know that's how it works.
So what everybody been up to, man? Everybody good?
I'm good. I'm always good.
I ain't got no complaints, man. Life been good. Ain't got no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah.
None whatsoever, man. What
Yo.
about you, Jam? How you feeling?
Yeah, man. How you
Man, I'm missing being in the damn room with y'all niggas.
I know,
man.
right?
I'm so tired of being the redhead stepchild.
Hey, man, well, we'll be glad to have you back, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
That's our
Next
cousin.
week
That's our cousin COVID. We don't talk
Right.
to COVID very much.
Cousin COVID.
We don't talk to COVID very much. He's mean.
Cousin COVID.
He mean
You know, it's like shit.
cousin COVID.
That's cousin COVID. We don't talk
That
to.
is hilarious. Oh,
I already
man.
smoke enough. I don't need to be coughing anymore. Like shit.
So, man, what about you? What about you, man? I said, man. What about you? Snacks, what you been up to, man?
Man, Snacks been chilling, man.
Yeah.
You know, Snacks chilling, man. I ain't got no complaints on that.
Yeah.
I just been looking at the world, what's going on around and all of that, you know.
Yeah.
We live in some crazy times right now.
We do, man. We do. And speaking of that, man, inflation is like crazy.
Everything is expensive.
Yeah, so we gonna definitely get into that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be today's topic. So we gonna definitely hit that up.
Everything is
What I wanted to
It
say,
is, man.
Math.
Yeah,
Yo, we gotta give him a shout out, man. Them
Oh,
things turned out
right,
great,
man.
Them
Right.
things are,
yeah.
Wait till
Big
y'all
shout
see
out,
this,
man,
yeah.
to Marlon, man. His real name
Man.
is Marlon Foster. He's an artist. He's one of our brothers, man. Extremely talented brothers. We also rhyme together in a group called Flow Factory, aka Double F. But that dude, man, I'm telling you,
Man.
extremely talented. So he did pictures of each one of us separately, and then he did a picture of us all together. But it's a remake. Do y'all want to let the cat out the bag?
Yeah,
or wait
yeah,
till we-
why not?
Yeah, no, I'm giving more
Yeah.
anticipation. This is coming. You'll see this soon
Okay.
somewhere. But
All right.
so yeah.
So it's all of our faces looking, but on the picture of that death row poster that had the black background, and they were all, you could just see their faces, and they hit, you know, some of them were, you know, doing certain things.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool the way
I'm
you
like,
did
oh
that.
yeah, I like that shit.
Real dope.
Y'all will see that. Maybe you see some of that on some merchandise. So
Oh
stay
yeah,
tuned.
most definitely.
You
You definitely gonna see that on the merchandise because we're gonna have a little thing going on where you can get the free shirt with that picture on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but you got to get every one of us because
Yeah.
we'll have individual ones that he made of us also. So we're gonna have that on merchandise, and once you get all 5, that one it's a gift from us.
Yeah.
So
Shit,
Yeah.
Speaking of death row, man, it feel like we got a whole lot of entertainers that's
Right?
been on death row lately, man.
Right.
We done lost some people.
For real,
yeah,
man.
oh yeah, that's was it John Madden first? a couple weeks ago. He was gone, so the football world, sports world was rocked real hard right there.
Betty White.
And she was next after him, and that really fucked everybody up.
Yeah.
Something about that lady was cool. That lady was cool.
99, dog.
I know, that lady was cool as fuck though. That's the thing why everybody liked her. She was just cool. She probably smoked some weed too.
Oh,
she probably used to get high, man.
Absolutely.
You can't be that cool and not get high and shit, you know. But yeah, though, who else was gone?
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
He
He ain't coming to dinner no more, so you don't have to worry about him.
Call me Mr. Tips.
You know. So, but yeah, then what was it? The last dude? Just recently?
Bob Saget.
Oh,
Bob
Saget.
Bob
Saget.
It's like, wow. It's like, man, I guess they're all dropping slowly. It's their turn.
Crazy,
You know, man, I ain't gonna. You know why? When celebrities die, it affects me this way. Like, if that celebrity was a part of my childhood, especially, or some form of entertainment that I was connected with, I also see a lot of my own mortality in their past, and I think that's kind of why it affects people the way it does. At least me, anyway.
I think it hits pretty much most people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it does. It makes you look at your mortality. Because you see those people and you never think you're gonna see that.
Right.
And then it happens and now they're gone and it makes you like, oh shit. You see the permanence in it.
Right.
Especially when it's somebody who's close to your age. Because, I mean, okay, somebody like Betty White, she was 99. That makes sense, you know. You've been here a long time. But then you got somebody like Bob Saget, who was only maybe like 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, that's one of those ones where you just sitting back going like, damn.
That does hit. For me, Prince hurt me bad because my thought was, I'm never gonna get to see this nigga perform again. Like, damn, I wasn't ready to stop listening to his shit. Like, damn. That's what hit me the most. Like, you know what? Nothing new is gonna come. And anything that comes from here out in, it's not him doing it. It's his music, but they're not doing it like he do it.
Was you in the Prince, man, when he was doing like a lot of experimental stuff over the last 15 years of his life?
He did a lot of stuff online that a lot of people didn't find, but and a lot of it was religious stuff because he was a hardcore Jehovah. Matter of fact, this lady I work with, somebody she knows that does movies like extras and stuff. He lives in Minneapolis. He said he comes to this door one day, ding dong, it's Prince and these two other dudes. He's like,
he's doing the
walking. Dude said he opened the door. He said, I don't believe in all that. Come on in. Yeah. He said, man, I wanted so bad to say yo, but I figured no, he's doing this stuff. Yeah. I'm just happy to be sitting here. Prince is sitting on my couch.
Right.
You know, and then they got up and did what they did. He left. He said, man, I wanted so bad to say something. I'm like, that'd have been the first thing I'd have said. Oops. For real? Can I get your autograph? Then y'all come in, please. I'd have had to. You know, like I know you're doing what you're doing, but come on, man, you do know who you are, so come on, man.
Man, you know what, man? That proves how serious he was.
I admire that.
Yeah.
No, he actually did that, and because when she told me, and I'm like, for real, she said, yeah. The dude couldn't believe it himself. He was like, he didn't believe it. He didn't think, okay, I heard he was doing that, but to see him actually. Yeah. Like anybody else with the books and stuff and trying to like, you gotta be kidding me, that's Prince? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I told him, I was like, I couldn't have did that. I would have had to say something, man. I would have respected what you're doing, but please, come on, man. You gotta know, you still do know who you are,
What celebrity passing hurt you, man?
Man, Michael, Prince, I tell you one that got me, man, too, was Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I really.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah. That dude, he was great.
Yeah.
He was great, man. Yeah.
What about you, John?
I agree with Ruck on the Robin Williams one. That was one of those ones that really caught me off guard. Because he's one of those people that I really respected, when he was here. And then, especially once he was gone and you started hearing all these stories about the things that he was doing behind the scenes, how he would make sure, like the food service people on his movie got paid, a fair amount.
Right.
He would, give leftover food to homeless people and all this kind of stuff. You realize how good of a genuine person he really was.
Dog. Exactly.
You know, he already had that perception in the public eye, but you just get to hear more about it, and it's sad that it takes his death for you to hear these good things about him. But you know, it really just kind of painted the picture of the loss that he had when he left us.
You know what, man? That's an excellent point, because the celebrities that passed that really affect me, they all have that same quality about them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that draws me to them. I believe, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I look at all of them, that's one of the things that's really common between all of them.
Right. Just genuine people, you know.
I remember my dad, man. Dad Avery. What's up, Dad? In case you watching, man, he had said when Charles Bronson died, you know, years ago, he had said this to me. This is all he ever said. He was like, "Ron, my heroes are dying, man." You know, I was like, it didn't really register because I was 20 years younger.
Right.
So you know, at that time, I was like, you know, when our heroes were dying, you know, they got shot down, or you know, something crazy like that. But for us to age with our contemporaries and our heroes, when they start going, I think that's when it starts really hitting differently. Yeah. At least for me.
Well, you feel like they're my age.
Yeah.
So they're dying off already.
That's
what you just said at the beginning, like, man, that was young, but you know, but then you got to also factor their lifestyles too. You know, that could have contributed to why they died.
Right. That's what got me with Chadwick Boseman dying. That kind of messed me up for a minute, man, because I didn't see that coming. And I mean, to die from cancer and the way he did, and he still worked the way he did, in spite of all that pain. That was a personal inspiration to me.
You couldn't tell. I do remember saying to myself, man, he got real skinny though.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell there was anything wrong with him outside of that.
Yeah.
Plus, in acting, you would think he's getting ready to do a
right,
role.
Exactly. That's why I didn't really pay much attention to it.
I saw a clip from an interview. They were doing like one of the press junkets for one of the Marvel movies while he was still alive, and they showed him because they were all sitting together in like this big, you know, room, and they showed him he kept falling asleep during the process. You know, everybody's sitting there talking and they going back and forth with the different people, but he was just slowly sitting there falling asleep. And it was because he was already going through the treatments at the time and he was just worn out. But he was still out there up front, trying to put on that brave face, man. It just makes his passing all the more sad. Because you see he was suffering, you know. You can see that he was suffering during that time, but he tried his best.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you gotta keep hope alive anyways. I'm gonna keep doing what I do to keep my mind positive so this shit don't take me faster than it should be, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
say what you really mean by that. Say what you really mean by that.
What do you mean
about cancer?
About cancer?
Like when you go further.
Oh, what I really think about what my theory on it is, I used to always say, Doc, if I got cancer, don't tell me. Just tell me to go do whatever treatments I got to do. Because when people know and that sound not as bad as it used to be, but you hear that you got cancer, the first thing in your mind is, I'm going to die.
Right.
So that is what takes over, and you start thinking about it so much, and that cancer just eats you away. That's why you got to keep thinking positive and keep thinking, because it's like you find out you got cancer, next thing you know, and within a year, you like, damn, nigga, you done aged like 20 years and shit. What the fuck? You know, like, because you're worried about it so much that, like, we always think that's part of stress, and stress will kill you. You know, whether people think it don't, stress will kill you. Enough stress will kill you. You know.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. That's cancer is one of those where I believe we all have it in us. Every one of us is just, what do you do to trigger it?
Yeah.
You know, because to have some lady that's 99 years old that smokes.
Yeah.
She's 99. She smokes, so that her lungs are fine. But a 20-year-old dies of cancer at 40 because he smoked and it fucked his lungs up. So I think it's in all of us. It just, we gotta hope that we never come across what's gonna trigger it.
Yeah.
What scared me was like, and I think this is probably going to be my biggest hurt when Farrakhan goes, but you know, celebrity passing. But what scared me about his situation was I can't think of an individual that lived a cleaner lifestyle
Yeah.
Especially at the age that he started at. We're not even talking 20s. Farrakhan started in his late teens. And for him to live a clean, healthy lifestyle for so long and still develop testicular cancer, that scared the hell out of me.
Right.
Because I'm like, man, if you eat, they say you got to eat right. Cool. You have to live a certain way. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fulfill all those obligations, only to end up right back there.
Right.
I didn't understand that.
Just like back in the day, the dude that was writing the books about how good jogging was for you. You know, how good jogging was for you.
Yeah.
When people started finally jogging, I thought they said he died while jogging.
Really?
Something like that. He had a heart attack or something like.
Really?
He's telling people this is good for him, and he ends up dying doing the shit he did. Like that's what
but
I think
could
of.
be
Like,
situational though.
no, but that's the thing. We don't know what else he had inside of him or something. But he's still telling me that the more you do this, the healthier you will be.
Yeah.
But yet he dies while he's doing it.
Wow.
It's like, damn, like, man, it's like, okay,
And
well.
they said it was something that he always did.
No, well, he's the one I think that started, you know, how all of a sudden, but I'm a lot older than you guys, so before, motherfuckers just didn't go jogging unless you were trying to train for something.
Right.
And then he's the one that wrote the book about, I think, you know, and I might be wrong, I just remember
he
this.
wrote the book
About what
is the benefits
of jogging, and
and
then
he
people
died.
started, and he died while he was jogging.
Okay,
And they're fucked up. I'm like, oh shit! Like, okay, you know what? I ain't jogging no more. Fuck it, you know. But that's just the way. Like we said, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Just, you know, maybe you weren't ready for that. You caught something
But
else.
did they say it was a heart attack?
I don't remember back then. I just remember that something happened to him, and I thought at the time.
Because if it was a heart attack, then we got a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's like, you know, you jogging and you get a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, okay, man, no,
We got
that
a
makes
problem.
sense. You know what I mean? But he made sense because jogging is supposed to be good for you.
Yeah.
It helps all your muscles and all. And like you said, it could have been good for you. Like Farrakhan, eat all good and everything, but still got cancer.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense. So
Yeah.
I jog all my life, but yet I'm still dying of a heart attack. So it's like it's written for us, or that's just what happens.
You know, though, I read somewhere that they traced ailments like that back to a certain gene, and they can tell whether you were, you know, whether you have a real good chance of having cancer or you have a real good chance of having this or that disease. Mm-hmm. They like traced it. Oh, they like traced it back to a gene.
Your sister.
Oh, what's up, sis? What's up, Steph? Yeah, that's my sister up in Denver, man, up in Colorado.
Nice. Welcome.
Yeah, man, it's my baby.
Jessica said she Princess Di affected her bad. She cried.
Oh yeah.
She was another one of them good people.
Yeah.
You know, so
That didn't mess with me.
It didn't bother me.
Me
either.
neither, because I'm not into the
But
crown thing and all that.
it messed with my other sister, Talitha.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did it?
That didn't mess with me
Yeah,
because
it
that
messed
crown
with
and all that shit.
I was just
that's
so
British
far
people
removed.
shit.
Yeah.
You know,
me
I
too,
just
like-
not that it wasn't a great
like,
loss.
You know, yeah, no, because she was supposedly, you know, real. I mean, you kept up on. You could not.
Yeah.
If you were alive when she was around, you heard about her almost every fucking day.
Yeah.
So you knew
Yeah.
who she
Yeah.
was. You knew what she was doing. You know, whether you stayed with her or not. Cool. Like I said, I'm not into that royal family stuff.
Yeah.
That's English stuff. You know, they're loyal to that shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, oh shit, that's fucked up that she died. You know, she was supposed to be cool. You know, oh well.
Man, my sister was so into that shit. I knew damn near everything about it too.
Yeah.
'cause
For real.
She was always watching it.
Yeah,
You know
so-
what I'm saying?
For real.
She
Could not-
loved all of that stuff.
You could not get away from that back then because it was
Yeah.
everywhere.
What's the memory of your first? What's your first memory of a celebrity passing? Like, how old were you and who was it? Not that it affected you or anything, but what's the first you can
I
remember?
remember.
Just off the top,
Yeah, sure.
Richard Pryor.
Really, that was your first?
I don't know if that was my first, but that's the earliest,
earliest you can remember.
Yeah.
Of somebody.
What about you, John?
Oh wow. Jeez. Man, you know I'm old. No, I'm just fine.
You the youngest one out here, dog. What you talking about?
That's what I said. Hell, I want to say Mr. Rogers.
Say what?
Oh
I
man.
remember his passing, and I was like, "What?" You know, that was one of the ones that I remember kind of early on, and struck me as kind of just painful. You
Yeah.
know, because I was really into Mr. Rogers back in the day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
What about you, Ghost?
You know, I can't remember, man. I'm trying to go back as far as I can and think about who I would watch and pay attention to that shit.
Nothing stood out to you?
No, nothing. I mean, okay, there's some people that die. We die all the time. So, okay. So, but nobody that as I'm thinking and I'm trying to go as I get older, who would have been somebody that I thought about that died or something that from back then I can't. Yeah. I try not to think about death too much.
I can't even I feel him. I can't even think of anybody outside of Richard Pryor that goes back that far farther. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to go a little further back.
His death, I remember his. Yeah.
Mine
I don't know why.
Mine was Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Not because
I remember now that you said it.
I mean, not that I care about Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
But what got me with Rock Hudson when I was a kid was I was hearing my mom and dad walking around the house talking about the conditions under which he passed from AIDS.
Right.
And at that time in the early 80s, AIDS was associated with homosexuality.
Right.
And they were more in disbelief that he was homosexual and died from this particular disease rather than just dying from the particular disease, you know. That's my first memory of a celebrity passing.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. James on good time. Damn James. Oh man. That's so real.
That's a good one, dog.
That's so real.
Yeah, the Rock Hudson one is because he was a ladies' man.
What? Yeah.
Nobody believed that. There was no way. There's no way. But those in his close circle, they knew.
Yeah.
You know, but that's
when they started falling off. Rock Hudson, Liberace, and you know, in that whole era.
Right. Yeah. Well, we knew the Liberace gang. You didn't know that, then I don't know what the hell you've been.
John Belushi.
That I remember that one.
Saturday Night
Yeah. You know what? That
might have been one of my first
that
ones
one didn't
too. Now
pop
that's
up
taking me back.
Immediately.
I remember that.
But I remember that. And I remember it kind of fucked with me when he died. Because I was a fan. I remember that,
River Phoenix.
I remember him dying.
River Phoenix when he was
That
a
didn't mess
kid.
with me.
No, none of these mess with me, but I'm trying to remember. The John Belushi one, I remember that. Like,
Andy Kaufman.
You know, Yep. So those are, but like I said, I try not to dwell on that shit.
I didn't give a damn about Andy Kaufman until they made the movie. I was like, oh, that's who he was? All right.
Yeah.
I ain't, Andy Kaufman.
My mom used to love that motherfucker.
But he was real popular. Wasn't he on Taxi?
Yeah. Then he had his own stand-up and shit. Some of the shit he did was funny.
Yeah.
That silly funny shit.
How you like Don't Look Up, man? So speaking of silly.
That was a really good movie.
That was funny.
It was a brilliant, funny, and enlightening movie.
What'd you take away from the whole movie?
I took away with that movie, it was just how people don't want to really hear that the world is fucking ending. Mm-hmm. They get into their own like, and then they start getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Really, they just kind of just get into their own shell and not, just really don't care until you actually see it, and then from there the realization comes that we just gonna allow the scientists and all that to do their work. They're just gonna sit and mess up and destroy it, and that'll be it.
Don't
and
give
then
that
shit didn't work, and then
Spoiler alert.
So if you haven't watched it, it's a movie called Don't Look Up on Netflix. It's funny, real funny.
Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep.
That's why I said at the beginning when it starts out with that Quentin Tarantino, like, I said, this is going to be a good movie. Just because of the sound, the intro, it's going to be good, right?
And it's so, you know what's really the bad part about it is because it's really, really eerily similar to how things really are.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, Bash, that's Shutters.
Right.
That's Shutters, man. I'm not talking on my phone no more. They took my ideas. Shit, that's Shutters, man. Like, damn.
And what program does the operator Shutters work
on?
The
low system.
The low system.
If you don't have a low system, welcome to 1942.
I can't front, man. When I saw the end of when I saw the end of Don't Look Up, and then I saw the way it ended, I can't lie to you. I went, that's what y'all get. That's exactly what y'all get. That's exactly what each and every one of you 7 million dummies get. I wish I had 2 of them. Shoot, just hit it from both sides. Shoot, that's what y'all get done.
Yeah, y'all want to watch that one? That was a good one.
That was dope, man. That movie
was well written.
It's been a while since there was something like that. Just a nice, funny, silly movie, but that makes sense.
Yeah, man. That's what y'all get.
Right?
Shoot. Man, what else? Oh, y'all know what we forgot to talk about last time?
What?
What's y'all thoughts on that Ahmaud Arbery verdict?
Oh man.
Or the sentencing rather. Not the verdict, but the sentencing.
I was extremely happy.
Clapping, but
Yeah, we hear it.
Man. Yeah, man. I had no complaints.
Jonathan, what did that when they passed when they sentenced those three gentlemen, where were you before the sentencing in terms of your thoughts on the judicial system and your faith in it, and where are you now?
Well, honestly, I didn't think they was gonna get life. I was really surprised by that. I thought they was gonna get off light. And so it was really surprising to me to see them not only get life, but life without the, two of them got life without the possibility of parole, and the other one, he got life, but I think they said he can get parole after, I think it's 20, 25 years or something like that. So I was really, and let's be honest, this hasn't really changed my perception of our judicial system. This is one instance. And it would take a lot more consistent situations like this to happen to change my ideas about our judicial system. But it's a damn good step in the right direction. And I can't lie and say that it didn't make me feel good to see that somebody finally got held responsible for a lynching of a black man.
I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly, my brother.
Yeah, we just watched your video feed for a moment.
Oh yeah, them dudes deserve that and much worse, and I hope they get treated like straight bitches once they go into jail.
Yeah, man.
What about y'all? What was y'all thoughts on it?
For me, you the one that told me about it. I wouldn't follow it. So, yeah, good that they finally, but again, like he said, okay, another one. So it's still not enough. We need more.
Yeah. Consistency, man.
But it's good to see that yes, they are coming along. They're just more and more are answering for this shit.
If anything, it might set a precedent for some of these idiots out there who think about doing stuff like that and make them think twice. Hopefully. But as of right now, like I said, the American judicial system is still not geared towards us. It never was.
I would think before they do something like that, they might think about it. But if they're engaged at that moment, that's the last thing they're thinking about. That I'm going to jail forever if I fuck with this dude I'm about to fuck with.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of that.
Yeah.
I might think about it like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck with them.
Right.
But if I'm in a situation, I'm not thinking about that. I'm going to jail. I'm chasing this motherfucker down. If he dies, he dies. Oh well, hey, should have been fucking around. Mm-hmm. So that's the last thing you're gonna be thinking about. So it'd be prior to it, you would be thinking about it.
No, I'm trying to see why I lost Johnson's feed. Everything is here, so I don't know if it's just YouTube.
Is he on there too?
Nah, the URL is still set up and all, but I can see why it lost the feed.
One of the things that I think the message it should send is now it's putting a little bit more restraint on our impulses. And when I say our, I mean as a whole, Americans as a whole. Meaning there was a time when you could engage in these kind of activities and then you would have to worry about, this is making your point, you'd have to worry about the consequences after the fact. But I think now that we see some form of justice being administered equally across the board, maybe now before you play vigilante, you will second guess this decision.
Right.
And that's that, and the fact that his mother received some type of justice, she now can have some kind of closure. She'll never heal from losing a child, but at least that helps her deal with at least justice was served, and she can move on a little bit more. I am so grateful for that. Thank you, Lord. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, can you imagine the pain of having lost your son the way she did, and then knowing those dudes who were still out walking around free?
Right.
Man.
What do y'all think would have happened if those guys had got much lighter sentences?
Nothing.
Agreed.
Same thing that's happening right now. We're talking about it 2 weeks later. Man, that's fucked up. You only got 25 years each. Nothing.
Agreed.
You know, because I mean, what can you do? Really, what can you do? We're gonna protest again, and then end up some other motherfuckers getting killed too.
Right.
You know, because again, I'm only gonna get 25 years, so let me go out here and protect this man's dealership. You know, shit like that. So, but yeah, I don't think nothing would be different right now.
See, I want to see the same kind of justice, man. And I may be wrong. I may be wrong in this opinion. I'm open to it. But like, we have a lot of brothers and sisters that die in Chicago almost every day, almost under the same circumstances, except it's done by other gang members or it's done by other members of their community or what have you. And the only thing that's different is their motivation. But the same action occurs. And a lot of those families don't get closure because there's this no snitch law among us. So because of that, some cases go, untried, or there was never any justice administered. I really hope that this doesn't only curb that white supremacist attitude towards minorities, but I hope also other minorities really understand, like, hey man, in order for justice to be served on some level, you're going to have to take part in it.
Right.
You're going to. I understand the no snitch. I understand all of that. But if you want justice, then you're gonna have to follow that protocol through and through.
Right.
Because I can't tell you the number of parents that have lost kids in 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, Puerto Rico, Denver, Houston, Philadelphia, Oakland, Compton, Atlanta, you name it. And just look at the first 24 on TV. A lot of times those people go unpunished because of said reasons.
Right.
So I just I hope we're edging the needle more towards fair across the board justice, regardless of the race involved.
Right. You're gonna protest this too.
Exactly.
Because it's the same shit.
Exactly.
It's exactly the same shit.
You're gonna march on them police killing these brothers, march on them brothers killing these brothers.
Right.
If we're gonna be fair about it and see it through. No intimidation.
And that's not snitching. I'm trying to live a better life. Because y'all's violence interferes sometimes. I might just be driving by when y'all decide to shoot each other and the bullet hits me or my kid.
Straight bullets. Right.
That's crazy. We gotta cut that shit out. Or drive that out of there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Shoot, man. That's, across the, believe it or not, I was looking at something, man, and you and I was watching I know it seemed like we jumping subjects, but we're not. You and I was watching Kazakhstan earlier. There's a lot of violence going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of violence going on, and they all look the same. But it's almost like a mini civil war, if you will. They all look the same. What's the issue in their regards? Money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We go right now and we go to Chicago, what have you. I was talking to my boy last night in Chicago. He said, Ron, they now have a no chase policy in regards to these upper end convenience stores like that sell Rolexes, that sell, it used to be like diamonds, but now like high end market stores. If you go in and you break something or what have you, try to steal something, they're not gonna chase you. They got a no chase policy in that regard. You know what I mean? And that rapper just lost his life in a situation like that in Chicago about 4 months ago,
That's crazy.
So like I'm saying it to say violence is going up around everywhere, man. We are losing our minds.
Because we broke, everything's expensive as fuck.
That's what it is, huh?
That's why we need some money. But
Resource.
we ain't trying to work either though.
True.
So it's like, okay. But that's why everything's so goddamn expensive and shit. We have the money to buy the shit. There's not enough of it.
Why are we not trying to work, Los? What you trying to say? We lazy?
Yep, we lazy.
That's what's contributing to all of this. Our laziness.
COVID made us like, fuck it. No, we had the money. We want shit. We had plenty of money to buy it. There's just not enough shit. So hence, inflation.
Yeah.
Why everything is fucking so expensive? Because they're not making it fast enough.
Y'all all got families, man. Like, have y'all seen have y'all personally experienced like the increase in the cost of living, the cost of things?
Hell yes.
Really?
Please. Trying to buy groceries for a family right now?
Yep.
You paying an arm and a leg for stuff that, don't get me wrong, groceries has always been expensive, especially if you're trying to feed more than one person. But at the same time, now you go into the store, milk is up, eggs is up, bread is up, all the basics that you need, you know, just even to feed your family,
Right.
is costing you almost, well, I won't say double, but in some cases the prices are a lot higher. Just for, you know, basic necessities of life, and we're not even gonna talk about gas if you gotta drive anywhere, you know, on a regular basis. Man, please.
I know what the groceries are for me and my family. It actually doubled from where we were.
Really?
We're buying the same shit. So
Really?
we went from this to like, damn, we done paid twice for the same shit. It's like, damn. And that's how it's hit. You know, that's how I've seen it go up slowly. Like, man, this groceries keep going up and up. We talked about earlier how you see it even when you go to a fast food place.
Girl.
You know, you order something for you and somebody, it's like almost $20-something. Like, damn, I used to get 2 of those for like $7.
Yeah.
But it's all this money. There's but like they say, there's a lot of money. There's a big demand for goods that are not there. You know, they're just trying to figure out why the goods ain't there, and I think it had to do with work, and that's why it costs work, and that's everything is going up. Because the less we have to give, the more expensive I'm gonna make it, because it's getting rare. So that's where we're at right now.
Some of it is, you know, supply chain issues because everything's trying to gear back up after COVID. You know, or I can't even say after COVID because we're still dealing with it, but you know, after the initial shutdowns because of COVID, you have a lot of supply chains that just haven't gotten back up to speed yet. And the way capitalism works is there's no reserves for capitalism. Everything needs to be right there when it's about to be purchased. But when that happens and those supply chains get disrupted, then you wind up in situations like this. High demand, no supply, that makes everything go through the roof.
Yeah. They say in 2021, man, they had the fastest raise on inflation since like the early 80s, man.
Really?
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah, I think the highest jump in inflation in like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, since the 80s, man, the early 80s.
Wow.
That's right. We're back in Reagan days.
Trickle down. Oh no, that's Bush. That's Bush.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Bush senior.
No.
Was that
Reagan
Bush
was
senior
trickle
did the
down.
trickle? I thought it
Reagan
was
started
Reagan that
trickle
started
down.
that shit. Yeah, but yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, hell, there's $4 trillion out there that they need to make back. You know, I think I had read something about there's $4 trillion of money out there.
You know it's bad, man. Like when other countries, you're having the same problem in other countries that we're having here. Like at least, you know, I don't have any rich friends. You know, I don't have any rich friends, and I got a lot of friends around the world. And everyone is making the same exact complaint. They're like, hey man, the cost of stuff is higher, the availability of products and goods are not there, and there's hardly any service because no one is working, you know. And that's going around across the world, man. I don't know how I don't know how we don't get out of this situation. I really don't.
Get rid of COVID. Give me a shot that shit don't hit me at all.
I
Then we'll go back to work.
I don't think so. I don't think we would. I think if you eliminated COVID in 1 hour from now, I don't think the employment or the job section and all of that, I don't think it would return. Right? I don't think it would change.
Same because we're used to living a certain way now.
Yeah, we want to see our kids grow up.
Work from home. A lot of places are not willing to give up their buildings.
Exactly.
I got this building that I still got to pay for. I need y'all to come to work.
Yeah.
We're not trying to go there because we're not trying to get sick. You know, so that's the back and forth. And you know, like, hey, so if you don't come to work, you're fired. Now you have no job.
But you also got to remember too, man, when they send those people home, that saves a lot of money too.
Yeah.
That saves them a lot of money. Big companies like that saves them a lot of money, man.
The only way I see the world economy, and this is just me, the only way I see the world economy making a real sustainable turnaround, you're going to have to offer something in addition to money to maintain or retain your employees. Because the biggest complaint that we're hearing, which is contributing to inflation and unemployment, is I didn't really care for the conditions. And the conditions meaning the way your superiors talk to you, or the conditions of, hey, we have $1 million home, I'm working 80 hours a week, but my children are growing up without me, so they want to spend more time with their families. I think they're going to have to offer something more intrinsic than just necessarily these extrinsic, these superficial benefits, if you will, such as a paycheck or medical insurance. I don't know what else could bring us out of this.
More time off, save and pay for less work, for less hours.
They're doing that in Greece and it's not working.
It's not work. That's
not in Greece. Greece, Spain, and certain parts of England, but Greece, Spain especially. They were on the they used to live in Europe. They used to have those siestas. What do they call them? Siestas are when you take a rest from something. Siestas. They used to have siestas. For the most part in Italy and Germany and what have you. So
Spain too. Spain they do.
In
that
Spain,
on that.
So I don't know.
What it is? Well, you know what? We want all the money, but we don't want to work. That's it. It's like I don't know what it is. We'll see what gets us out of this. But yeah, I knew this was coming. You don't just get free money for nothing. Mm-hmm. These people are gonna make their money back. So that's why everything is real expensive. Can't blame that on the administration. No, these people want their money back. So the only way to do it is, well, you know what? For a whole year, I didn't sell shit. So this next year, I'm going to double the price, so that means I sold 2 years worth of shit. I put my numbers where they're supposed to be. Y'all got money. The government gave y'all all this money to come and buy my shit. Except it's just more expensive now. The government knows we're going to make it expensive.
Right.
Oh, but they're already talking about some of the meat producers, the meat packing companies and stuff like that. They're already investigating some of them because they think they're overinflating the price.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's a few of them that are under investigation right now because they're saying, okay, yeah, we know inflation is pushing up the price of everything, but y'all didn't hike the price up just a little too much. It's suspicious. So and it's not just meat, but that's one of the main things that I've been hearing people talk about is that I forgot what the organization is called. One of those one of those organizations that's all alphabets, but. Talking about how they're starting to look into some of these companies because they think they're overhyping some of this inflation. They're trying to take advantage of the situation because they know or they think they can get away with it right now.
Yeah, capitalism.
We got 10 people watching the show with us and everything, and if you guys have any experiences regarding the cost of living and how it's affected you personally or your family. Give us a call. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 281-858-3107. We would love to hear you guys, thoughts or experiences on this.
It has to be effective. It has to be. It's affecting everybody.
It has to be.
So I know let us know what you're going through. Yeah. I know what me, like I said, groceries, boy. Woof.
Yeah, man. When he said gas too, man. But you know what? I gotta say this, man. It rose up. But then, like right now, it has started going back down. Yeah.
That's what we was looking at earlier when we mentioned Kazakhstan. Like initially, they were looked like a civil war was going on, and the first reported reasons were the doubling of the gas prices, the petroleum prices, and a lot. I don't know if people are really familiar with the types of infrastructure Europe has as a whole, but they're not really built off of central air and central heating. Right. It's kind of like up north where you have the radiators on the wall. So now, if you're talking about doubling that cost for whatever reason, however we got there, I could see how people take to the streets.
Right.
Kazakhstan is not like near the equator, so you need your heat. Right. You need your gas.
I'm about to pay twice for this shit now.
I have a family now, and I have to decide how I'm going to feed them relative to keeping them warm. Those are some hell of a situations to have people in.
Right.
I'm wondering, when are we going to have that kind of, response to what's going on? If we are. Because hell, look at New York. New York is not operating nowhere near as it was prior to pre-pandemic.
That's right.
There are certain streets in New York you would never have expected to see wooden, like barriers in front of windows and stuff. Not because of intruders, but because we're shut down.
Right.
I wonder, man. I really wonder. This inflation, this is new for us anyway.
Right.
This is new. This is really new.
It's not your normal inflation.
Or at least new enough enough to where we can't remember.
Hey man, you were really good. You were learning and really good with the stock market or what have you. What changes have you seen in terms of like Forex and those kind of industries? Like, are they thriving or are they not? Or what's been your observation?
I mean, it depends on. I would say that how it affects you really depends on the way you're going about it, man. Because like, if you're day trading,
okay,
you can make money every day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You just really gotta follow it. You gotta just be on it, and you gotta know what you're looking for,
Okay.
right? And you can day trade and you can make money every day. But if you're talking about, like, man, you know how some people they're trading millions and millions of dollars on the stock market like that. Even at that level, you know what you're doing, man. I will never say that even with the way inflation is, the stock market is still like you can see the decline with like over the past few months and all of that. You can see it, you know, and you feel it. But even in the declines, if you know what you're doing with the stock market, you can make money off of the
decline.
Right,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It depends on how you playing and what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It could be just as lucrative now than it was before if you're doing the right things.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know.
I can't lie. I am almost totally ignorant to that industry, because I remember looking at something and a lot of people made money off of other individuals' debt.
Yeah.
You know, and loss of assets or what have you.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but there's an actual industry in the market where you bet against the debt and not necessarily against the surplus.
Right.
You know, so you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not real familiar with that,
Yeah.
or how it works or whatever. I would assume it works the same way.
Right.
It's just
In
different
reverse,
things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, man. I that's why when we asked last week when we said what do we think is a good, I believe, what was the question? A good way to
what's gonna bring us out of
it, right?
Quinn person that mentioned that.
And you said
I said real estate.
Real estate, yeah, and I said
Bitcoin,
stock market. You know,
and the crypto, I think was another.
I don't know if I would sit here and say the stock market would bring you out of it, but it definitely does not have to be a negative.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Right. It can definitely be a positive if you're doing it the right way.
Brother Jackson says the people asked for a wage increase pre-COVID, which many agreed. So to balance things off, they have to increase the prices, food, and other items. It's still a game. He's absolutely correct. I forgot about that.
That's true. That's true.
I forgot about that.
Plus, one thing he was saying earlier, when they was giving out all of that money, you gotta pay that back. Some kind of way you're gonna have to pay that back, and it usually comes in the form of taxes.
Right.
Instead of taxes, it's coming in just everybody that lost go on and make your money back, and we'll get our money back.
I mean, it's still kind of hitting. It's still coming in taxes because you know, I mean, the price is increasing.
We were already headed towards a recession, man. When I was in school in Europe in 2007, because where I live, in that particular part of England, it was a well-to-do area.
Yeah.
It was well-to-do. And when I got on the plane and left, I remember seeing, what do they call cash advances setting up in that county.
Oh, really?
Yes. When I saw cash advance stores coming up, I said, "Oh my Lord, what is really going on?"
Yeah, we come get some money.
I mean, like, try going to River Oaks and you're gonna see like a, sell your car title.
I know.
You don't see that. You know what I mean? And when you start seeing it, you're like, the end is near. You know. Right. So I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I would say the end is near.
The end is near, man.
Things looking dark.
Like, for real, when the rich folks start saying putting up their car titles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
My goodness.
Right. And nobody got no extra money. But they have offered more money. And people still say, no, not good enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's not a money issue at this
It
point.
can't be about money.
Point, exactly.
Yeah, to this point, it's not a money issue.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
It would have to be more time. We want more time with our families than we'll work.
True.
You know, for a long time we've gone to the two people, workers, the mom and dad.
Oh yeah.
You know, we've done that for a long time, and
That's
our
true.
children are. I mean, it's like we're losing them somehow. You
That's
know what I mean?
right.
That's why it's so nuts now. How it is.
That's right.
So we want to get back to like where only I have to work, my wife can chill, or she work and I can chill, and it's not going to hurt us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because it got to the point where now, shit, yo, you 18, boy, you better go get a job. We, you know, we broke up in here. Everything's expensive. You know, so we want to just spend more time with our families and I guess enjoy life better. It's like this can't be all about work.
Right.
You know, there's got to be something more to this. So we'll still work for you. You know, that's why I always say there's 7 days in a week. Why isn't it 4 days work and 3 days off? You know, it's not.
Start an experiment.
You know, it's like it's not half and half because you can't do it that way. So we'll work 4 days for you and then give us 3 days off.
You know, that's right, man. In some countries, man, that work day is usually is cut off, like some of them between 12 and 2. You know what I'm saying? They don't work any longer than that, man.
The economy's on as strong as ours.
That's true. That's true.
We have, if you're gonna, you know, if we're gonna benefit from the rewards of it, we have to put the work in. You know,
Right.
Like I mean, people in China, you know, they have such a huge workforce or what have you. If you look at the way their economy is growing and how many people are involved in it, that makes sense.
Right.
But I could never expect, for example, our economy to endure as much as it had. I could never expect that economy to bounce back as well or sustain itself as well as we do, and ask the employees or the contributors to lessen their work day. What you end up doing is you say, okay, you got 5 days to work. We're going to condense it to 4, but you're going to put 5 days of work in a 4-day period.
Right.
You know, and then you're going to start seeing the rich people saying, well, damn, if after 4 days, 10 hours a day, 40-hour work week, we have these, then you're going to start seeing things like, if you come in on Friday, we'll pay you time and a half. We'll pay you double. You understand? That's just how the capitalist mind thinks.
But
and we'll end up right back where we are.
It's up to me to say, fuck it, I'll take it. But we'll end up going back to where we are.
I mean, you know.
But I guess there'll be those that don't have. Look, I don't have a family, so I'm okay working. You know, I'll take 2 days off. I'm good. I'm good with 1 day off. I mean, I don't have a family, so I'll pick up that slack and make money at the same time. And those of us that want to, thank you for not having a family and doing that for me, so I can have 3 days off. You know, I'm still making my money, but you know, I don't mind working 10 hours for 4 days in a row and then having 3 days off. Shit, I'm good.
I got a solution.
What's your solution?
I think the government is going to take the nuclear option. I think we're going to change our stance on immigrant workers.
Yeah.
I said that shit. They're gonna go.
I think that's going to be the nuclear option. Meaning, like, I've tried to give you money, I've tried to give you time off, I've tried to give you medical benefits, and we're still not getting the kind of change we're looking for in our economy. And I think they may take that route, man. I may be wrong, and I think that would cause a problem if they did, but
yeah,
I don't see. I'm just talking from a human point of view now. I don't see us sustaining these losses too much longer, and we're not responding to conventional means. I think we're going to do something different.
Work visas.
If something like that did happen, conservatives would lose their minds, man.
Why? Because half of them in their house.
That's get crazy if that did happen.
Sure.
But that'll get them to push people to go work then. But yeah,
The
this ain't
problem,
work visas.
the problem is it's not that people are lazy. People are just tired of selling their time for cheap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like they say, wages have been stagnated now for how many years? You know, our dollar buys way less than it should.
Way less.
If our minimum wage was tied to inflation like it ought to be, right now we'd be looking at a minimum wage of like $20-something an hour.
Oh my God.
Right, that's the point. right now, we're all working for slave wages, and people are tired of doing that. So if even the CDC right now is saying, oh, 10 days off work is too much, that's telling the public something without actually saying it. If the American workers was to unite and say, okay, we going on a 10-day strike, just across the board, you'd have this country by the balls, and the workers could finally get what they want. But that's what the CDC is telling you with reducing this quarantine period down to 5 days. Oh, 10 days is costing us too much money.
Well, I'll say this. It's for that reason, the truth of what you said is the reason why we're, as a whole, as a nation, I think we're going to always remain right to work states and are going to push unions further and further on the fringe, and also change the attitudes that we have towards unions, which, because unions, that's when they would step in for us.
Yeah.
And they have demonized even the concept of unions. And they've backed that demonization by legislation that runs the companies in these right to work states. So I personally, I have never expected a fair hand or a fair shake from any company in any state, in any country for that matter, because at the end of the day, they're there to make a profit. When I start seeing the minimum wage going up, now I'm starting to say, man, I'm going to pay a whole lot more for goods and services, because one thing I know about government, in particular ours, we're not taking a loss.
No hell no.
We are not taking a loss. We will pass the debt on to the consumer every single time. Every time. That's why it scares me when they start saying, hey man, tax the rich. Are you sure you really want to do that?
Right.
But we did it before. At one point, the tax rate for the richest individuals in this country was up to 90% at one point. This was back during FDR days, when when America was at its most prosperous.
Did we have NAFTA then?
I don't know if NAFTA existed there. I don't know.
It didn't, because Clinton brought in NAFTA. And now
that's right.
And now what they're but to your point, pre-NAFTA, you're absolutely correct. But now it's almost like free agency. If I have an athlete, it's gonna be hard for me to retain him or her if the Lakers are offering them $20 million more than what I can offer as a bottom line. So just like in industry, it's going to be hard for the worker to demand the right when the owner can hold us at gunpoint and say, hey man, I can always move this to Ireland or India or Mexico. It'll be hard for you to get a fair shake in the workplace. And they're delegitimizing unions. Like this is, we live in some very precarious times. Like everything on behalf of the worker airs everything against us. You know, we don't have those types of things going for us anymore. But you're right, Jonathan. Absolutely.
Right. You know, man. Whenever they have any kind of way they can take away your power, they're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do it. They're gonna shut it down, just like we gotta do the Daily Smoke. It's about that time.
It is. Oh man, time passes by so fast.
I know, so
and
fast.
I need y'all inflation yourselves over to the website and buy some shit.
Yeah, man, y'all go over there and look us, get some of that
about the economy. We need our money.
Our prices stay the same.
We need our money.
Yeah, man. But we appreciate y'all being with us, man. We love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all enjoyed the topic. And we will be back Monday, same bat time, same bat channel, man. Right. And we got some special stuff. We got some special stuff coming for y'all too. Monday we're gonna actually do the celebration for making it to 100 episodes. So we got that popping, and Wednesday we're gonna have the sex show. All right.
We're gonna talk about it
next week.
Yeah, so we got those two shows coming up next week. So y'all make sure y'all tap in, man, and let everybody know. Pass the word. And I am your boy Big Ruck,
Brother Los,
Brother Ron,
Brother Jam,
and your boy Bishop.
and we are the Daily Smoke,
and we are out.
Peace.